And good evening, everyone. Happy New Year once again. Good evening and welcome to the annual presentation of the Missouri Athletic Club Hermann Trophy for the past 2024 season. To help us introduce this year's finalists, we have members of the JB Marine Under 11 team. So in keeping with the tradition of kids accompanying players as national anthem buddies, you see this at games all over the world, the next generation of soccer standouts will be joining this year's finalists as the finalists are introduced. Beginning with, let's please welcome from the University of North Carolina, Kate Faasse, along with JB Marine player Maggie Albart. Kate, Maggie. Up next from Duke University, Maggie Graham with Elizabeth Donahue. And from Wake Forest University, Caiya Hanks with Kate Buckaloo. From Ohio State University, Michael Adedokun with Landry Dyer. Next from the University of Denver, this is Sam Bassett. He's with Olivia Jennings. And from the University of Akron, Emil Jaaskelainen. Sorry, Emil, we didn't have anybody for you to walk out with. It was extra time. We used all our players. Now, ladies and gentlemen, please rise for the national anthem to be performed this evening by Summer Pullen. Summer Pullen. Son?
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Thank you, Summer. Thank you, girls from the JB Marine Under 11 team. And good evening once again, ladies and gentlemen. Again, Happy New Year. My name is Bill McDermott, and welcome to the Missouri Athletic Club here in downtown St. Louis for the annual presentation of the MAC Hermann Trophy. I'm joined by Missouri Athletic Club President Jody Peterson, right behind me, MAC soccer co-chairs Annie and Greg Beatman, and we're here to present the prestigious Crystal Soccer Ball, along with, from United Soccer Coaches, their Vice President, Mike Lynch. As I mentioned, we do this on a yearly basis to recognize the top male as well as top female players in college soccer. We would also like to thank especially tonight's presenting sponsor, Munganast from St. Louis Acura, as well as Alton Toyota for helping make this night possible. Now, please welcome to the podium, Jody Peterson. Madam President.
Thank you, Bill. Well, on behalf of the Board of Governors, our members, management, and all of our team here at the Missouri Athletic Club, thank you so much for being here tonight and helping us celebrate soccer. For over a century, going back to the 1904 Olympic Games here in the city of St. Louis, our club has promoted excellence in amateur athletics. And we continue that tradition this evening with the presentation of the MAC's Hermann Trophy. Since 1986, the Missouri Athletic Club has honored annually the top male and female collegiate soccer players across the country. The trophy is named after Mr. Robert R. Hermann, who was a great ambassador of soccer for over 5 decades. I would like to welcome the finalists, your families, your parents, your coaches, as well as numerous soccer fans from across the country. You know, St. Louis's rich soccer history is enhanced by hosting these outstanding young players and celebrating their achievements. In just a few moments, we will find out who will claim college soccer's highest individual honor for the 2024 season. So again, thank you so much for being here and enjoy your evening.
All righty, thank you, Jody. How does this all happen? Well, the finalists and winners were voted on by Division I coaches who are all indeed members of United Soccer Coaches. Over the years, this award has honored some of the biggest names in soccer, including Mia Hamm, Kristen Lilly, Claudio Reyna, and Alexi Lalas, who, by the way, is with us this evening here. Alexi from Rutgers, won in 1991. And by the way, another coach that you'll hear from later this evening won the award in 1994. He played for Indiana. Then the Columbus Crew featured in the 1998 World Cup as Alexi featured in 94. Played against Yugoslavia, Germany, Iran. Nice welcome for Ohio State's coach who won this award in 94, Brian Mazanov. All righty, here in alphabetical order are the 3 finalists for the Women's Award. A junior from the University of North Carolina. She led the nation in goals and recently led her team to the national championship. She is the 20th Tar Heel in program history to be a MAC Hermann Trophy finalist. They're well familiar with this event. She had 4 goals and 3 assists during the NCAA tournament. She netted the game winner in both the quarterfinal and semifinals, while also contributing the game-winning assist in the 3rd round. Let's welcome, please, Kate Faasse. The next finalist is a graduate student from Duke University. She ranked 4th in the ACC in scoring with 14 goals as the Blue Devils earned the regular season title and in the process, the #1 seed in the conference championship. She recorded 3 multi-goal games this season, headlined by a pair of braces in the NCAA tournament. She was named the 2024 ACC Midfielder of the Year, where there's never an easy game. Nice welcome, please, from Duke University, Maggie Graham. And our 3rd finalist is a junior forward from Wake Forest. She led the Demon Deacons to their first NCAA championship match in program history, their first final in program history. She propelled herself into the top 10 in program history in points, goals, and assists for a single season. She became just the 6th player at the Division I level this season to reach 10 goals, along with 10 assists, and she is the first player in program history to be voted a MAC Hermann Trophy finalist. Nice hand, please, for Caiya Hanks. And for the presentation of the winner, MAC Soccer Co-Chair, this is Annie Beekman. Annie?
The women's winner of the 2024 Missouri Athletic Club Hermann Trophy is, from the University of North Carolina, Kate Faasse.
Gosh, there's a lot more people. I just want to obviously start by thanking this foundation for bringing us all here today and for allowing me to meet the people behind the players. I think that's such a cool opportunity to get to meet them. And I'd like to take a second to just acknowledge the seasons they had and where they took their teams, because they took them to the highest stages, and it was an honor to play against them. I'd also obviously love to thank my family for all their unwavering support and just taking every step with me. My unbelievable coaching staff, every single one of them, from Damon, Anson, Tracy, Dugar, Greg, Elena, the managers, Tom. They've just been there and helped me be the individual I am today through my entire time at UNC, and obviously my biggest blessing, my teammates. They've instilled a different type of confidence in me to be the person and player I am today, and honestly, this award for me is recognition for them as well, and the team they were for me this season. So I just thank you, everybody.
Congratulations, Kate. Now let's move to the men's award, and here are the three finalists, again in alphabetical order. A senior midfielder from Ohio State. He led the Buckeyes and the Big Ten with 11 goals, 11 assists, and 33 points. He helped OSU to a 16-2-4 record and the program's second appearance in the College Cup. The Big Ten Midfielder of the Year in the first player in Ohio State history to be voted a Missouri Athletic Club Hermann Trophy finalist. Nice welcome for Michael Adedokun. Our next finalist is a senior midfielder from the University of Denver. He was named to the NCAA College All-Tournament team and became the second two-time All-American in Denver's program history. Led the Pioneers with 31 points on 9 goals and single-season program record 13 assists, typical of a 10 shirt. The two-time Summit League Midfielder of the Year produced 74 career points on 24 goals and 26 assists during his career. A nice welcome, please, for Sam Bassett. And our third finalist recorded an NCAA best 23 goals. No, that's not a mistake. 23 goals and 54 points, while also leading the nation in game-winning goals, goals per game, and points per game. He posted the second highest single-season goal total in program history, en route to becoming a unanimous choice as Big East Conference Offensive Player of the Year. He is first in Division I among active players, leaders in points and goals categories. Nice welcome, please, from the University of Akron University, Emil Jaaskelainen. Now the MEC's joint soccer co-chair. This is Annie's husband, Greg Beekman. Greg, come on up.
The men's winner of the 2024 Missouri Athletic Club Hermann Trophy is, from the Ohio State University, Michael Adedokun.
I don't know what to say. First of all, I thank God for everything He's been doing in my life recently. being here is a big privilege for me. And I also want to thank all my teammates for all the job they've done for the team, not just all about me, I remember like in the middle of the season, they've been calling me Mike Hermann, not Mark Hermann. So just because of the support and then everything that we all did in as a team together. I couldn't thank everyone tonight enough, but I have to thank Brian Mason for bringing me to the best program. I'm grateful, man. Thank you so much. I just thank everyone tonight.
Congratulations, Michael, Kate, our winners. Likewise, congratulations to our finalists, Maggie and Caiya, as well as to Sam and Emil. Enjoy dinner tonight, and we'll be back very shortly with you for the remainder of the evening. Again, Happy New Year.
A special thanks to St. Louis City SC and their VP of Communications, Mark Abel, for hosting our finalists at City Park earlier today for a tour. I believe there's supposed to be a photo, but by all accounts on social media, it was there it is. It was fantastic. We appreciate the outstanding support of City SC. In attendance, as Bill noted earlier, is their starting midfielder, Chris Durkin. And on stage, we'll hear a few words from their sporting director, Lutz Pfannenstiel, who is joined by our MC, Bill McDermott. Take it away, Bill.
Thanks, Greg. Lutz, how are you?
I'm good, how are you?
Fine. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
What's new with St. Louis City? Anything?
Yeah, we're ready to start, Players coming back in town. The new coach actually landed in St. Louis today. So we're really looking forward for... unfortunately, our off-season was a bit too long. Mm-hmm. So we are ready to rumble again and get out on the field.
Of particular note tonight is that one of our finalists, Emil Jaaskelainen, was the number 7 overall pick for St. Louis City. Did you have your eye on him? Yes, applause. Did you have your eye on him for a considerable amount of time?
Yeah, I think it's very important for us to really have a big look and a very detailed analyze when it comes to college soccer. So we have lots of people out there who are watching basically every single team, and we make our long list, we make our short list. Emil was always our main target. Can you show us the scarf, please, my friend? And you have to stand up.
Come on, Emil, stand up. Now, here's the story. If he can play anywhere like Jari Litmanen, you've really picked a good player.
Yeah, you see, he's Finnish, so they're really shy, struggling to put the scarf up, but we're working on that in the future. So I think that will come with time. And yeah, as you said, I think numbers speak enough as a striker. I mean, you're looking at his goal-scoring record. Was amazing. You're looking at his points, was amazing. But it's not just that. You know me now since a long time. We're looking at the philosophy. We're looking at the playing style. What really fits to St. Louis City, and we're looking at the character. He's a great kid. He ticked all the boxes, and we are really, really happy that actually nobody picked him before us.
New season coming up February 22nd is the first home game against the Colorado Rapids, and you have a new coach. You have a new coach at Olaf Mellberg. Had he caught your attention a long time ago, or was this a recent relationship?
No, it's a process, Bill. So I was not shaking a tree, and Olaf Mellberg fell off, and that was the new coach. So we had a very long process of 5-6 months where we had hundreds of coaches when it comes to data points, when it comes to interviews, where we really had a very detailed interview process. We went to Scandinavia. We also met Olaf Mellberg, had a long meeting in Stockholm. And once you sit with somebody on the table, sometimes you get that right feeling. And Olaf was the guy where I thought he can make us better. He is a coach which is used to make younger players better. His playing career was outstanding. Captain of Aston Villa, playing for Juventus Turin, being the captain of Sweden, even in a World Cup. So lots of the things which he gave us really was what we were looking for, and we are really excited that he arrived today, and we kicking off things very soon. Again, it will take a few days till the players get used to him. Chris Durkin is already scared, but he's normally not scared of anything, but be aware of Swedish people. They are scary at some stages. So I wanted a coach who also has a certain appearance, and Olaf is a guy with a big appearance, with a big character. As I said, he knows what he wants, and that is very similar what we want and what we expect, what ownership expects, and that's why Olaf Melberg became the new head coach.
Speaking of Olaf, one last question for you. We know you have to get going to pick up Olaf. 29th season for Major League Soccer. A 30th team is joining next year, San Diego. You play them second, as a matter of fact, new team this year. I want to ask you, Lutz, is the league itself, is Major League Soccer getting more of an international feel? Is it getting some international notoriety?
Yeah, 100%. I think the league is getting bigger and better. We can talk a lot about the Messi effect, but it's not just Messi. There's so many top players from Europe, from South America, from Africa coming over here who are really doing well. So I think, of course, you're looking into Europe, the top 5. I think the MLS has the quality and has the potential to attack the top 5. Maybe not this year or next year, but I think the World Cup in 26 will be a big indicator where soccer will go in America. I think it will go a very, very long way. And look at the way the MLS improved in the last 5, 6, 7 years. It's tremendous. If you talk now to people in Germany, in England, in Spain, the MLS gets a really good reputation. Players want to come over here. Players are really keen to join an MLS team. And it's far away from the Hollywood League we were talking about 10, 15 years ago, when an older player came in for his last stages. Now guys coming in the age of 24, 25, who really want to prove themselves. And I think the whole soccer system in America really, really benefits from it.
As a follow-up to that, I'll add one more, last one. This coming year is going to be the Club World Cup, countless other competitions, and the 2026 season will have the World Cup. As you mentioned, the United States is truly going to be the epicenter of the sport.
Yeah, it's becoming the hotbed now at the moment, the hotspot for soccer. I mean, the World Cup, people talking about it a lot. And, lots of countries where the World Cup was having this big push into the future. I think ownership investing a lot of money in all over the clubs, players coming in, the coaching stuff is getting better. Everything improves step by step. But also don't forget, MLS Next Pro, now it's a development league. We in St. Louis put a big effort into having a good MLS Next Pro team. MLS Next, the academy system, is getting better and better. We believe in our homegrown players, but we also believe in the college system. And as you said, for us it's important. We are a young club. We need to get a mix of homegrown talent, give local youngsters an opportunity, but then also get people and players like Emil from the college system to break into the team, to become a professional. And I think the future is bright. Soccer will really get better and better. And I think by now, looking at the World Cup last year, statistically, the MLS one of the most highly represented leagues actually at the World Cup. It just shows that everything is on the wrong way, and the right way.
Ladies and gentlemen, the sporting director for St. Louis City, Lutz Pfannenstiel. By the way, everybody who's here from St. Louis City, please stand up for us, just to say hello. Everybody from the staff that's here. And Chris, don't worry, you're fine. You're in the first 11.
Yeah. Thanks again, Lutz. Thanks again, everyone from City, for your support. We also want to extend a special thank you to the Hermann family for their continued support and efforts to help raise the profile of this award nationally. Please welcome, from the Hermann Family Foundation, Alyssa Greasy.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Alyssa Gracie, and it's a privilege to stand before you tonight on behalf of the Hermann Family Foundation. This evening is a celebration, not only of the remarkable talent we honor here, but also of a legacy that began nearly 6 decades ago, one rooted in a passion for advancing soccer in the United States. The Hermann Trophy, now in its 58th year, reflects the vision and dedication of Robert Hermann, whose commitment to growing the game and elevating its players continues to inspire us all. As one of the founders and serving as the first president of the National Professional Soccer League, Robert understood that soccer's growth in this country depended on celebrating its greatest athletes and providing a platform to showcase their excellence. This is why, in 1967, the Hermann Trophy was named in his honor. This award was created to recognize and honor the extraordinary achievements of collegiate soccer players, those who demonstrate not only exceptional skill, but also the drive and determination to push the sport forward. As we reflect on more than 100 athletes who have received this honor over the years, it is clear that the Hermann Trophy represents far more than just a personal accolade. It's a symbol of progress, passion, and a commitment to fostering the next generation of players, some of whom are sitting in the room tonight and looking up at our finalists. So to our finalists tonight, your hard work, talent, and perseverance embody the values this award was built upon. By excelling at the highest level, you inspire those around you and contribute to the continued growth and success of soccer in this country. As of tonight, you are forever etched into the award's legacy and into the history of this beautiful game. I would also like to take a moment to thank the Missouri Athletic Club. For over 30 years, their dedication to this award has ensured its continued success. The MAC has been an incredible leader and partner in this endeavor, and their unwavering support has allowed us to properly celebrate these athletes and their achievements year after year. A special thanks to Jim Wilson and Greg Beekman, who serve on our committee and are an essential part of tonight's event. I would also like to extend our gratitude to another committee member, Ralph Polson, whose tireless efforts with the United Soccer Coaches ensure the seamless organization of Division I coaches for voting and who plays a pivotal role in shaping the Hermann Trophy process, from the watch list to the selection of the semifinalists, finalists, and ultimately the winner. On behalf of the Hermann Family Foundation, congratulations again to all of tonight's finalists. Thank you for upholding the spirit of excellence that Robert Hermann so deeply believed in. Enjoy this special evening, and let us continue to celebrate the remarkable journey of soccer in the United States together. Thank you.
Okay, we're going to officially kick off the program in about 5 minutes. But before we do, you may have noticed that with the help of the Hermann Family Foundation, we created a new logo this year, and we also created a new MAC Hermann Trophy scarf. Then there's one at each table, so if you turn to the inside front cover of your program, if you have a green sticker on the inside front cover page, you are the winner of the scarf. And we'll see you in about 5 minutes. Thank you everyone. So tonight, we will honor and celebrate the individual athletic excellence of this year's Missouri Athletic Club Hermann Trophy finalists. Congratulations to the 6 outstanding young men and women, their parents, families, and coaches. As everyone knows, no one in town is better at putting on a memorable event than the Missouri Athletic Club. Special thanks to President Jody Peterson, our General Manager Chip Mish, and the club's outstanding team of chefs and servers. Please join me in a round of applause for the MAC staff. All right. A special thanks to Munganast, St. Louis Acura, and Alton Toyota. We appreciate everything they do for the Missouri Athletic Club and the St. Louis community, including their support of this event and the MAC High School Soccer All-Star Games in June. I want to recognize a man whose dedication and commitment played a huge role in the success and growth of this banquet. He served as MAC soccer chairman for 20 years. Please welcome Steve Krause. Thanks, Steve. And finally, we want to thank a longtime partner, the United Soccer Coaches. They administer the vote of the college coaches that determines the Hermann Trophy winners. So thank you, United Soccer coaches, and on with the show. Our MC, as you've already met, is in his 6th decade as a soccer broadcaster. Still amazing on the ESPN Plus broadcasts of St. Louis University.
Good evening again. Welcome to this absolute tremendous celebration of college soccer as we look back. We look back and we honor the best from the 2024 season, soon to begin 2025 with spring training. As was mentioned, in 1967, Bob Hermann, the NPSL president, established the Hermann Trophy to annually recognize the top male collegiate player in the sport. The Women's Award was started and inaugurated in 1991. Mr. Hermann, along with other builders like Lamar Hunt, Bob owned the St. Louis Stars, Lamar owned the Dallas Tornado, and countless others. They would later originate the NASL, the North American Soccer League, the United States, in essence, first foray into professional soccer. In 1986, the MAC, which had its own identity in celebrating an existing culture of athletic achievement, they created its own college soccer award. The MAC consequently, and then the Hermann Trophy, they merged in 2001 to form a definitive honor, which I think you'll agree is the most prestigious in collegiate soccer. So here we are today, continuing Bob Hermann's vision of elevating soccer in the United States, of giving college soccer a bigger stage, if you will, more awareness, and honoring those players who played college soccer, and then some of whom went on to represent their country in the greatest of all sports unifiers, the World Cup. Bob Hermann, St. Louis, and the MAC were destined to do this. So let's get started here. We'll hand out some awards. We'll talk with some friends of the program. We will conclude with Alexi Lawless interviewing the two winners, and then I will have a conversation with Anson Dorrance, recently retired Anson Dorrance, and we'll conclude the evening with that. But first of all, I'd like to recognize some people here in attendance with us this evening. They traveled quite a long way to be here tonight. From Littleton, Colorado, the parents of finalist Sam Bassett. Nice welcome for Amy and George Bassett. From Atlanta, Georgia, the parents of finalist Maggie Graham. Let's welcome Marie and Chris Graham. The grandmother of finalist Caiya Hanks. Nice welcome for Gwen Bowen. And from Phoenix, Arizona, the parents of Kate Faasse. Welcome Shelley and Adrian Faasse. We mentioned the National Soccer Hall of Fame on a regular basis. We are honored to be joined by a member of the National Soccer Hall of Fame. Following an absolutely standout career at North Carolina, she was captain of the U.S. women's national team, helped them to 2 World Cups and an Olympic gold medal. She is currently an assistant coach at Duke. If you Google, how should a number 4 play? How should they play in the backfield? You see a picture of Carla Overbeck. Carla. And amazingly enough, she was able to survive Julie Foudy as a captain and a teammate. Here locally, the Washington University women's soccer team won the Division III national championship for the 2nd time in school history. Please welcome their head coach, Jim Conlin. Jim? A 2-time winner of this most prestigious award, a member of the 1972 Olympic team. He won the MAC Hermann in 1969 and 70 as an All-American at St. Louis University, winning NCAA championships, a member of the National Soccer Hall of Fame, Captain America from the national team. Let's welcome Al Trost. Al? And you can see Good to see that Al has his red sport coat on, which is indicative of the member of the National Soccer Hall of Fame. My job was very simple at St. Louis University. Win the ball in the center circle, give it to Al Trost as soon as possible. Another farmer standout from St. Louis U. He was the 1970 Rookie of the Year in the then North American Soccer League, and is currently the president of the St. Louis Soccer Hall of Fame. Nice welcome for Jim Leaker. Just allow me a moment of personal reflection here. 2 weeks ago, in St. Louis soccer and American soccer, we had a death in the family. A frequent guest at this dinner, an All-American at St. Louis University, national team player, the first player signed in the North American Soccer League, a National Soccer Hall of Famer as well. Pat McBride passed away at age 81. So can we just pause for a second for a moment to honor his memory? Thank you. The sports director at KMOX Radio is Tom Ackerman. Speaking of St. Louis University, their men's and women's soccer teams earned trips. Both of them played in the NCAA tournament this season. Let's welcome women's coach Katie Shields, men's coach Kevin Kalish. Women are in their 28th season, the men in their 65th as they began when the NCAA started competition for the championship in 1959. And our community is extremely fortunate to have many outstanding organizations dedicated to promoting and serving soccer here in our area and around our area. JB Marine, Missouri Youth Soccer Association, and in particular, the Special Needs Soccer Association, SPENSA, which gives children with disabilities the opportunity to play soccer and be a vital part of our soccer community. If the players and volunteers from SPENSA would stand when I mention their name. Here are some of the key volunteers: Kevin Byrne, Keith Enger, Mark Kaiser, Janet Oberly, and John Schneider. John wasn't able to be with us tonight, but we have three players. Now, they occasionally get a little rowdy, so hey, guys, keep it down, huh? Let's welcome Claire Gardner, Jesse Bush, and probably the only Orthodox winger in the Spencer group. This is Gina Bianchi. The seminal event for soccer in our country was the 1994 World Cup. As I'm very hopeful that you watched the United States. You saw this guy never giving a ball away. From St. Louis U, played in Major League Soccer, was a former U.S. men's national team assistant coach for Bob Bradley. Number 16, Mike Sorber. Some other people at the Hall of Fame table: Larry Donovan, referee extraordinaire; George Gansner, AR extraordinaire. He worked in MLS and always errs on the side of the attacking player. Keep it up, George. Brandon Santel, assistant coach for Jim Conlon at Washington U. Katie Leaker, a player on that Washington U team. And we have yet another NASL collection, another connection to NASL, along with Tim Twellman from the Minnesota Kicks. He and his brother Buzzy were voted 2 of the 50 all-time greats for the San Jose Earthquakes. Not the San Jose Clash, the San Jose Earthquakes. Nice welcome from Mark Demling. All right, let's begin to give out some awards. And for that presentation of the women's finalists for the Missouri Athletic Club Hermann Trophy, let's welcome from United Soccer Coaches, their vice president, Mike Lynch. Mike, come on up.
Thank you, Bill, and thank you to everyone at the Missouri Athletic Club for hosting such a fantastic event. On behalf of United Soccer Coaches and our board of directors, congratulations to this year's Hermann Trophy finalists on outstanding 2024 seasons. I'm honored to have the pleasure of introducing two of the top student athletes in NCAA Division I women's soccer this year, Duke University's Maggie Graham and Wake Forest University's Caiya Hanks. Grad student Maggie Graham led Duke in scoring with 14 goals as the Blue Devils earned the conference's regular season title and the #1 seed in the 2024 ACC Women's Soccer Championship. The midfielder's season was highlighted by a 3-goal, 1-assist effort in a 4-1 win at Stanford, becoming just the second player in program history to record a hat trick in an ACC match. At the end of the regular season, the Atlanta, Georgia native was named the 2024 ACC Midfielder of the Year and to the All-ACC First Team.
This is indeed Maggie Graham and her coach, Robbie Church. And as you are doubtlessly aware, we had a difficult time getting Robbie Church off the Oak Island beach. He's just retired after 43 years of intercollegiate coaching.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
What a legacy.
Thanks, Bill. I appreciate it. Yeah, it was hard. I was in a big pickleball match. I had to leave my pickleball match to come here. Anson's next.
Anson's next.
But we're going to play pickleball next.
These are orthopedic surgeons' dreams.
For sure. No question about it.
6, 7, 3, and 23. You had entertained making that your last year, but you said, no dice. I'm not going out on that record.
No question about it. It was a disappointing year for our standards, but we, the big part of it that we had Maggie, and we had Katie come back, and we had Nikki Chico, 3 graduate students. It's the end of the COVID year. They were special. They were special leaders, special competitive players. Hated to lose, hated the feeling of the season before. And when they wanted to come back, I was all in. Let's go play.
You're one of the finalists. Again, congratulations.
Thank you.
Tell us, Maggie, tell us a little bit about his legacy and his style as a coach.
He has.
And you know what? And say whatever you want. He's retired. Forget it.
Can't do anything now. But yeah, he has a great legacy. We had a couple events throughout the 2023 season of celebrating Robbie and having alumni come back, having people speak, and I think it just showed how much he meant to every player that he coached, every player that he was with. It just lasts forever, those relationships, and no one said any bad things about him, and I don't think anyone ever will. But yeah, he's always had a great relationship with every player, and I've had a great relationship with him for 5 years, which has been amazing. So yeah, we're all very sad to see him go. So.
Your coach just referenced it. What a turnaround year in 24. You come up 18, 3-1. You yourself, 14 goals, 5 assists, midfield of the year in the ACC, All-CC first team. But 7 of those 14 goals were against ranked opponents. She answers the bell at the right time, Robbie.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir, she does. Just looking at that video on there, it brought a big smile to my face because you knew each and every one of her goals that she scored against big opponents. And obviously in the ACC, we play big opponents every game in and out. But she's one of the most competitive young ladies. Her and her sister, who's here too, is they're one of the most competitive people that I've been around before. And I think that's, that is one of her real strengths.
Getting back to your retirement, was it just the ideal time for you?
It was. There's, nothing about what's changing in college landscape, that it's just, we've done this so long. My wife, Linda, and I, we had a place at the beach, so we moved to the beach. We have a son that coaches basketball at Michigan. He's on Michigan basketball staff, a daughter in Wilmington. So we wanted to do some other things too. And, fortunate that, I've been so blessed over all these years to be at Duke and to coach this great sport. I just, every day I get out of bed and I go to a job that I love. And so I'm very lucky. And, the greatest thing about it, though, retirement, is I'm leaving it in fantastic hands with Kieran Hall and Carla Overbeck that's taken the program over, and they're going to take it to even greater heights than it has achieved so far.
Maggie, I was reading about you, and you said you were extremely interested in someday in the future in getting involved in the intelligence community. Still feel the same?
Yes, I think so. I think that's the dream career path post-soccer. So hoping for that after.
Well, all the best in that. Finally, does she just get involved in everything, not just the penalty area, center circle, you name it, she's involved?
Yeah, she is. She's sometimes she's a one-woman pressing machine out there, too. She can run. She's very mobile. Again, as I mentioned, her competitiveness. But this year, she added a lot to her game. Her composure in the box, her ability to finish goals. But she just became a complete player. She's such a great leader for our program and has been over the years. But this year took an extra step and just a great role model for the players that are returning for our program. This is what you do. Again, this has been a journey for her. This didn't start out as a freshman year. It's been a journey, but she has been persistent. She's worked hard every single day on her craft. Every time she comes to training, she puts everything she has into it. So these are the type of players that you just are so happy how they succeed too. So,
Maggie, congratulations on a fabulous final year. Coach, congratulations to you on retirement, and come back. Don't be a stranger.
I won't, I promise.
Okay, Maggie Graham and Robbie Church. And back up to Mike Lynch.
After an incredible NCAA tournament that saw Wake Forest make its first NCAA championship match in program history, junior forward Caiya Hanks propelled herself into the top 10 in program history in points, goals, and assists for a single season. With her assists in the second round, she became just the 6th player at the Division I level this season to reach 10 goals and 10 assists, and 3rd to do so in program history. The Kaluakona, Hawaii native, Caiya is the first player in Wake Forest women's soccer history to be voted a MAC Hermann Trophy finalist.
This is Caiya Hanks, center coach Tony DeLuce. Caiya, first player we mentioned just a moment ago in program history to be a finalist for this award. It's got a nice sound to it.
Oh yeah, I'm so happy to be here, and I'm so happy that I was able to put it all together this season.
She wears number 9, coach. Does that mean she's always involved in everything in the penalty area?
Almost.
Does that mean not enough?
She does a lot of things outside the penalty
good.
area too. No, she's an integral part of our team, and came up really big for us this year, and she's still getting better. So maybe she'll be back here next year.
What do you say to that?
I agree.
Good. Tony, program's 31 seasons old. You've coached for 28 of them. You've obviously found a home.
Yeah, I moved to Wake from San Diego, which everybody thought, you're crazy. I didn't even know where Wake Forest was, really. I had to ask my basketball coach at USD what it was, where it was. He told me to just go. So it's been a great place, and it's a great place to coach. And we have quite a family over all the years.
And you've been to the NCAA tournament in 21 of 27 seasons. In the ACC, that's quite the accomplishment.
Yeah, I missed out on 6, so a little bummed about that. No, it's, like I said, we get quality kids at Wake, and makes my job easy. Relatively low maintenance, and we don't have to do a lot of babysitting at Wake. They really are self-disciplined, and this is a prime example of that.
Caiya, first national championship game in program history. More to come?
Oh, yeah, most definitely. I think I'm super excited for next season and can't wait to see the new players that we have coming in.
Tony, you've been involved in the sport, as I mentioned, for so long, and we continue to watch the women's soccer programs at various schools, and it continues to be a more visible part of our culture. Not just soccer, the sport itself, but women's soccer in particular. Still more room to go?
Oh, for sure. I think we're just getting into the fun part with the progress of NWSL and the personalities that we have in the national team and the growth of the college game. And we have over, I think, with 350 Division I teams. So we're super excited about it. And I know college athletics is going through a crazy time right now. But women's soccer, I think, is really steady, and we have a great product. So I'm excited about it. I'm not ready to retire like these guys over here. Still got a couple years left.
Well, good, and we welcome to see you again. Caiya, for you, 11 goals, 12 assists this year for you. 3 goals, 5 assists in the run to the final. Everybody says we want to see a team play stronger at the end of the year. That's obviously what you were doing.
Like Tony was said, I feel like every year has been progressively better for me, and I'm blessed to have been on this team and to have been surrounded by great girls such as our Emily's, the Emily trifecta that we have on the team, and our back line. So I think it was that allowed me to really prosper in a way, and then also just giving credit to the work that I put in individually on and off the field.
Tony, one last word about your player here. All the videos I watched, any ball in the penalty area, somehow, some way, she got on it.
Yeah, she's either getting on the end of it or she's serving it, and she's just so dangerous in the attack. And occasionally she does defend a little bit as well. So she's learned over the years to appreciate getting back and chasing players and pressing. And so her games come full circle. And really, from freshman year, she scored 1 goal. And we were wondering if this was going to happen, to be honest. But she's improved so much. And she's out every day doing extra. In the mornings with Coach Brittany over here and with me, and she is completely committed to becoming a better player, and I think she's going to be a great pro down the road.
Caiya, we got 10 other people on the field. You don't need to defend. Caiya Hanks and Tony DeLuz. Mike Lynch, let's hear about the men's finalists.
Yes, let's now turn our attention to 2 NCAA men's Division I standouts in 2024. University of Denver's Sam Bassett and University of Akron, Emil Jaaskelainen. University of Denver senior midfielder Sam Bassett was named to the NCAA College Cup All-Tournament team and became the second 2-time All-American in the program history. Bassett and the Pioneers finished the 2024 campaign with a 15-3-5 record and made a run to the second College Cup in program history. The Littleton, Colorado native Bassett co-led Denver with 31 points on 9 goals and a single-season program record of 13 assists.
This is Sam Bassett and his coach, Jamie Franks. Welcome, everybody. Congratulations, Sam. Sam, 9 goals, 13 assists in this past season. All-tournament, All-American, Conference Midfielder of the Year. Great year for you.
Yeah, it was definitely a good one. Didn't end exactly the way we wanted it, but yeah, good year overall. Good to be back in the College Cup.
Portion of the year, Jamie, you guys were back in the College Cup, obviously, but you were #1 in the middle of the year. Have to ask, because I ask every coach, is it more difficult to get there or stay there?
I think the most difficult is to end there. So, I think it's a great recognition of everybody's hard work, and, that's just an outcome of where you're at that stage of the season. And so I was really impressed by the maturity of the players and their ability to stay grounded and just understand that it's their daily habits and it's the processes that we're doing that is putting us at that ranking. And so, for us, our journey is a little bit different. We got to go and we got to play on the road against all these teams. Our home record is impeccable, and because of that, we don't really get teams to come out and play us out there. So we figured we'd go out and we try to play everybody, beat anybody, any condition, in any, on any given day, and earn some home games in the NCAA tournament.
Colorado Rapids Development Academy for you, Sam. Was that a good environment?
Yeah, it was really good. Didn't serve me well for all 4 years. I ended up switching to another club and then going back. But yeah, it was ultimately the best for my development to go back as I want to end up there.
Lutz had mentioned when we began the evening, Jamie, that college soccer is always going to be an alternative for some players. Other players may go elsewhere, but college soccer is going to be a logical alternative.
Yeah, I think we're at an interesting time now where I think the model needs to change a little bit to make it more representative of what these student athletes are doing before they come to college and then what they're doing after. We're one of the few sports that don't represent the way that they play at the youth level. And so, I think that there's change near, and, there's a lot of people and a lot of corporate sponsors and a lot of important players, that are backing us before the World Cup. And so just hoping for positive change and really ultimately to listen to what the student athletes want and to meet them with, a much better, more sustained model.
You came from Wake Forest to coach there. Was that good for your foundation?
Yeah, growing up on some of the youth national teams and, going through the recruiting process, I didn't know what I was looking at, but I was making a value-driven decision. And, I chose Wake Forest to be a better person, and I chose coaching because of what it did to me and all my friends. And, this guy, what I'm so proud about him is, he's going to be a good husband, he's going to be a good father, he's going to be a good neighbor. What I learned through sport is just character development, and it's just a microcosm to teach life. And so just feel super grateful. I've known him for a long time. Some of the stories at soccer camp won't be told here, but you just to have connections and relationships with these guys, it means everything.
Your brother plays with the Rapids, has played for the Rapids. Always been a desire of yours to play with your brother. Is it going to happen someday?
I think we'll find out soon here.
Like how soon?
I think on Tuesday.
You could tell us. Nobody's listening. Go ahead. You'll find out as quickly as Tuesday.
Tuesday.
Oh, congratulations.
Thank you.
That's tremendous. Jamie, is this a guy who wears number 10 for a good reason?
We were actually having that laugh earlier because he was 18, and this year he wanted to change the 10, and I wasn't sure how I felt about it, mostly because he just had made such a good name for himself in 18, and but we were laughing because when he did come out the first time in 10, I was like, okay, this feels right. And what he did for us is to be a two-time All-American and to be somebody with growth mindset and accountability and ownership of the team's intensity and their fight. You just don't see number 10 players doing that. And, I think where he really grew was he became an all-action footballer. You make 4 actions every minute in the game, and I just think he's so impactful with tackling and doubling down and winning headers and just doing all the things that you don't always see. And, he just set a new standard for what the number 10 position it looks like every day, what those habits are. He's first in the locker room, his gratitude to train every single day. He just set a new standard for what it means to be, an All-American here at DU.
By the way, that is a new standard. 10 shirts don't tackle. Not by any means. Jamie Franks and Sam Bassett. Best of luck next Tuesday. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
All right, Mike Lynch for our last finalist.
University of Akron senior forward Emil Jaaskelainen recorded an NCAA best 23 goals and 54 points, while also leading the nation in 6 game-winning goals and 1.1 goals per game, en route to being a unanimous choice as the Big East Conference Offensive Player of the Year. The Bolton, England native Jaaskelainen is first in Division I among active leaders in points, goals, second in points per game.
This is Emil Jaaskelainen and Jared Embick, his coach at Akron. First of all, Emil, congratulations on a tremendous year. 23 goals. Jared, this is a number 9 who does indeed do what a number 9 is supposed to do, but he doesn't just stand in the penalty area and wait for crosses. Active in everything.
Yeah, I think you saw with the highlights, he scored a variety of goals, headers, runs in behind, clever movement in the box. And, time at Akron, we've had a lot of great strikers, but I think he's been the best finisher we've ever had. And it's because of that. He can score in multiple ways.
Coach, you started the 2024 season with Notre Dame, Ohio State, and Western Michigan. Was that the best way you thought to measure new players with your established players, playing such a difficult schedule at the outset?
In hindsight, could have been a mistake too, but I think what you want to do early in the year is figure out what you have, and I think we started slow, but we played good competition, and then that allowed us to figure out the balance we needed in attack and defense to then go on a run like we did at the end of the year.
I mentioned earlier, Emil, that you were the number 7 pick overall with St. Louis City. Have you had a chance to speak with Coach Olaf Melberg yet?
No, not yet, but I'm looking forward to it. Obviously, we saw the stadium today and the training facilities, and yeah, it's next level, so I'm really excited and can't wait to begin.
Great surface, isn't it?
Yeah.
Fabulous. Emil was born in Bolton, England. You may know the name Jaaskelainen. His father was a goalkeeper for Bolton for years. 56 caps, I believe, for Finland. What an environment for you to grow up in.
Yeah, it was a dream going to Premier League games every week. Obviously, I didn't really understand it then. Like, looking back now, I'm like, oh, that was so cool. But back then, it was just like another day, just going watching all the best players in the world. And yeah, it was like living the dream. And yeah.
You were on the books with Blackpool for a while, and at one time you mentioned you wanted to stay in England to play. You've obviously changed your attitude on that.
Yeah, so I was at Bolton first, my local team, and then they released me. The worst decision they could ever make.
Of course.
And then I was at Blackpool for 3 years. They did the same, same mistake. And then, yeah, came to America, to Long Island University first, and then Akron after that.
Who's your favorite Finnish player over the years? I mentioned earlier, I referenced Jari Litmanen.
Yeah, he wasn't bad, but I think Jaaskelainen was better, the goalkeeper.
Oh, yeah.
I'd say modern day, the Teemu Pukki, the striker.
Okay, Teemu Pukki.
Okay. Yeah, he's pretty good. And the goalkeeper, Hradecki, he's also very good. I mean, there's a few good players now, so yeah, it's hard to pick one.
No, I mentioned your style as a number 9. Will you come back as deep as the center circle to go find the game occasionally?
Yeah, it depends. If I'm not getting the ball, then I'll drop deep to try and get a touch or two. But yeah, it depends on how the other team plays and if they're playing high line or deep line, just loads of different things. So yeah, I like to mix it up.
Jared, 11 conference tournament titles, 14 trips to the NCAA, 3 college cups. Your players are conscious of a culture of excellence at Akron.
Yeah, we've been able to, throughout the history at Akron, been able to produce, not only top players, but I think the culture, style of play, the way we do things has added to the continuity we have. And it's also a lot of expectations, the community, the school, they expect us to do well, and I think that pressure and that expectation also helps develop players.
Final question for you, Coach. Did your methods, your training at various sessions on a day-to-day basis, did it lead to Emil scoring 23 goals?
Yeah, I mean, it was pretty simple. It was like, guys, get the ball to the Emil anytime he's in the 18, and then this game should be pretty easy for us.
And you delivered.
Yeah, I mean, they got me the ball, so put it in the goal.
Emil Jaaskelainen, Jared Embeck, both from Akron. Thank you, guys. Congratulations. Oh, don't sneak up behind me. Now to hear recognize some special teams with us here this evening, and she'll also tell us about the women's finalists. Let's hear from MAC soccer coach here. This is Annie Beekman. Annie?
Thank you. Each year at the Hermann Trophy Banquet, we are joined by several high school state championship teams. When you hear your team, please stand. In Class 3, Caiya capped off a tremendous season with a 21-4 overall record and defeated Rockwood Summit 3-0 to capture the state championship title. The Chargers were led by first team All-State Class 3 Player of the Year and Gatorade National Player of the Year, Maddie DiMaria. As well as Class 3 Private School Coach of the Year, Rachel Bursick. In addition, Izzy Hokemuth earned Goalkeeper of the Year honors and Roz Doherty Defensive Player of the Year. Katie West earned First Team All-State honors and Taylor Arnold Second Team All-State. Congrats to the state champs from Caiya Academy. In Class 4, the Narings Hall Markers, with a 17-3-1 record, claimed the 2024 Class 4 Girls State Championship title with a 2-1 win over Eureka. The Markers were led by First Team All-State Class 4 Player of the Year and All-American midfielder Lauren Seppi, and the Class 4 Private School Coach of the Year, Brian Haddock. The Markers also feature Class 4 Goalkeeper of the Year, Caroline Ritter. Kinsley Smith earned First Team All-State honors. Haley Braun and Ryan Ward were Second Team All-State. Congrats to the state champs from Narings Hall. In Class 2, the Clayton High School boys team defeated St. Michael the Archangel 3-0 to claim the Class 2 state championship title. Concluding the season with a final 20-4 record, the team was led by Class 2 Player of the Year and First Team All-State selection, Ole Adeoye. Class 2 Co-Offensive Player of the Year and First Team All-State selection, Sam Leonard, and Class 2 Public School Coach of the Year, Brendan Taylor. The team also included First Team All-State selection, Elias Kilbridge, and Second Team All-State selection, Matthew Hurst. Congrats to the state champs from Clayton High School. In Class 4, St. Louis University High School claimed the boys' state championship title with a 1-0 win, going 5-3 in PKs over De Smet, and finished the season with a 21-4-1 record. The team was guided by the Class 4 Private School Coach of the Year, Bob O'Connell, and included First Team All-State players Henry Sanders and Patty Byrne. Congrats to the champs from St. Louis High.
That was pretty cool, huh?
Yeah.
It's pretty cool to see yourself up there.
Just a little.
Yeah? Don't worry, this is going to be painless.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah, some of the people have been here before. I'm just trying not to get fired by the end of the night. It's going to be fun. Don't you worry. Coach, how we doing, all right?
Great.
Yeah, you're doing great. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, you got subbed in. How'd this happen?
I know. Listen, they're scraping the bottom of the barrel over here when it comes to the Missouri Athletic Club. But I'm here, so you get to talk to me. I know, right? You will find out that once your players, I know you've been around for a while, but when you're a head coach, once your players get accolades and tributes and honors and all that kind of stuff, they will sell you out in a second. So, what am I supposed to call him?
D-Money?
D-Money. All right, so that is your name.
You guys have spoken earlier today.
Oh yeah,
okay.
I got all sorts of stuff on you. Not enough time. When we're talking about coaches, and certainly a coach of your stature with the talent that you have at your disposal, not the least of which is sitting next to you here, there's a tendency to think that you guys just roll the ball out and then go sit down, have a cocktail, and watch what happens. We all know that that is not the case. But I'm going to give you an opportunity to talk about, because we've heard it tonight, coaches talking about the culture and what's behind the scenes and what that magic dust is. Can you put your finger on it? Can you be specific as to what makes the entire organization good and enables players like this to thrive?
Yeah, that's a deep question. I mean, first it starts with, Anson. I mean, first of all, I think I want to, Anson retired this year, and I want to thank him for everything he's done for me. I think it starts with Anson Dorrance for what he's done for the game, not just at UNC, but for the sport in general. So thank you, Anson. I think for him, the foundation's there from the past players to, what Anson has built. But this is a unique year. I mean, if any, what goes on at UNC is fairly documented. People follow us and know a lot of our business. And, following last year, there was a lot of transition that took place from the team. So it was kind of a lot of new that took place. So it was really built and designed around our players. And the culture this year, from knowing about what the history was and keeping the foundation, the core, but then really truly defining our team this year based on the players. And significantly, Kate led that, her personality and a lot of the players around the core just had sort of an ambition to be great. And they know the history of the program and they want that. So they let it, I kind of let their personality lead in who we were this year. And somewhat of a risk at times, but it led the right way, and they all were so competitive, and it was a really group effort and led by her.
Okay, can you talk a little bit about what you saw this year that enabled you to succeed and this team to succeed? And as you mentioned, it's a continuation. We all know. I was out with Anson, by the way, last night. He would not shut up about you, just constantly talking about you. He loves you. He loves you. So what was it about this year? And again, if you can be specific, great, because everybody's trying to find out without giving away too many secrets.
I think after what we had gone through in the spring, we were in a rebuilding year, which was scary for everyone. I don't think anybody really thought we'd be in the position that we were. I think that we gathered a great group of girls. Damon did an amazing job of gathering a group of girls that had one mission in mind, and we all had a little bit of our own culture coming from all different areas, We faced so much adversity, the highs, the lows. We faced so much during that season that I think it all played into us ending up winning. I think we all brought a little bit of our own, and I think was really it.
Coach, we've talked a little bit about what college is and what college isn't right now, and the changes that it's going through right now. Part of your job, as it always has been, but it's changed a little bit, is recruiting and selling the program, selling the experience, selling yourselves. So if you were out there talking to someone that was looking at the college pathway, what are you selling? What are you telling them this is the reason why you take this college pathway?
Yeah, I mean, again, there's so much great in college. I mean, for us, we feel we are playing against some of the best college players in the country, some of the best soccer players in the country. We get to compete against them, not just play and coach them. And we're competing with some of the best, in our opinion, the best coaches in the country as well. So for them, they all have these aspirations now because the program is growing. And we don't shy away from the conversation of pro. I think that's really important, is whatever their ambition is, we trying to match it and say that we feel like in our environment, and I'm sure a lot of the coaches say the same, we're trying to help them. College is about education, but also now they can have a livelihood in the sport. The women's game is growing, and the finances are getting better and better, where they can actually see themselves not just doing it for a passion, but maybe have it for a livelihood. So we want to be able to show them that what we do developmentally wise on and off the field will serve them best to have a long, long career in the sport, and that's what we try and sell.
I think he's talking a little bit about the holistic approach. Do you feel that you are not only a better soccer player, but a better person for having gone through this experience and this collegiate experience as you go on into life, whether it's becoming a professional, whether it's becoming, what are you majoring again?
Communication.
Communications. You want to take my job? You want to take those other jobs out there? No problem.
I'd love to.
Do you feel like that you are, yeah, I know, believe me, get in line, all right? They're coming and they're all young and I'm not. do you feel like that you have benefited as a person from this experience, both on and off the field?
100%. I think I've definitely grown as a person and player throughout this entire experience, even leading up to it when we were losing games, having big wins. I think the entire experience has shaped me as a person and player, and I think I'll continue to grow from it, continue to learn.
Anything else you want to say about your play here?
I mean, Kate scored 2 goals her freshman year, 2 goals her sophomore year. You know, and there was a lot of transition last spring. And then, you know, we had a long talk in the spring and really what her goals were. And the biggest thing with Kate, for anyone that sees the goals and all that, what they don't see is she works, you have to pull her off the field. She's the hardest worker every single day. And she has I basically let her be herself. I mean, she has personality for days, and it's infectious. And as long as she was the hardest working player, people see all the accolades and see all the goals and all that. But it's what she's done on both sides of the ball and how the impact she had off the field on our players. It was infectious, and it helped lead us to put ourselves in a position to compete against some extraordinary teams.
Anything you want to let the people know before we get you out of here?
On the spot.
Yeah, come on. I'm throwing down to you. You're on the sideline. Kate, let's go down to Kate on the sideline after the game there. Give us a little synopsis of everything that's happened tonight so far. And then throw it back to me.
It's been a great event. I'm so grateful to be here and to be a part of this. I don't think I ever thought it was in my cards to be sitting up here. So I can't even express how grateful I am to be here and to have experienced this.
And back to you, Alexi.
And what?
And back to you, Alexi.
And back to you.
Thanks, Kate. That was wonderful. Ladies and gentlemen, big applause. Uh-oh, here we go.
You got it? You got it? I don't know. Oh, here, I'll give him the mics.
Okay. As you can tell, the St. Louis area just had a banner season, 2024, when it came to state high school championships. So we have 2 more schools that we want to recognize that are here tonight, and we're very grateful for all the schools for joining us tonight. In Class 1, the Valley Park High School boys team went 25-3. There we go. 25-3 on the season and captured the state championship title by defeating the Missouri Military Academy 4-0. Over the course of the season, the team was led by Class 1 Player of the Year and First Team All-State player Will Geary, the Class 1 Defensive Player of the Year and First Team All-State selection Cooper Belchamber, and Class 1 Public School Coach of the Year Tom Probst. The team also included First Team All-State and Class 1 Co-Offensive Player of the Year selection Joe Buckman, and Second Team All-State selection Clark Menley. Congratulations to the state champs from Valley Park. And last but definitely not least, in Class 3, the Ladue High School boys concluded the season with a final 23-6 record and a Class 3 state championship title by defeating Vianney 3-0. The team was led, please. The team was led by Class 3 Player of the Year and First Team All-State selection Braden Wallace and Class 3 Public School Coach of the Year Dave Ehrenberg. The team also featured First Team All-State selections Avi Levin and Jack Scheffel, as well as Second Team All-State selections Tommy Edrington, Ahmad Shebel, and Jose Sanchez. Congrats to the state champs from Ladue High School, and thanks for being here. Okay, and then we'll introduce our final finalist tonight and our winner. Congratulations to all the finalists. To be recognized as one of the 3 best from among the thousands of collegiate soccer players in the United States is a remarkable accomplishment. Michael Adedokun led Ohio State in the Big Ten with 11 goals, 11 assists, and 33 points. He helped the Buckeyes to the program's 2nd College Cup appearance. He is the first player in Ohio State history to win the Hermann Trophy.
Sorry about that. Thank you.
I-O.
All right, yeah.
There we go.
How you doing?
Great.
Yeah? You look wonderful, by the way.
Thank you.
I appreciate you both wearing dress shoes. That's unique. Oh, come on, relax. Congratulations. Brian Mazonoff, your head coach, joining us here. Brian's a good Michigan guy, so we have the Michigan background here. When it comes
we try to keep that quiet at Ohio State.
I know. Listen, I get it.
Be careful with that one.
Again, we talk to coaches, and obviously this is relative to an individual player. We understand that the team is the most important. But how does he come to be at Ohio State and starring for you, especially in this day and age with college changing and the movement that's going on? What's your sell, and why did he say, all right, yeah, I'll do Ohio State?
Well, I'll let him answer some of that, but he came actually to this country 4 years ago in January, so he had a big adjustment coming from Nigeria, and he went to the University of Dayton for 2 years, and then when I heard that he was looking for a new environment, obviously we jumped all over it. We've seen him play. He's only 45 minutes down the road, so when he was available, I know he had a ton of interest from everybody, but we're lucky enough to get in the mix.
How do you hear that he's available? Is this just somebody calls you up, or how does this work? Text? Hey, not for nothing,
Something
but I
called
just
the transfer
heard.
portal, that's out there.
All right, all right. When you decided, did you call him up and say, I'm coming?
I don't know, like, so when I was in the portal, like you said, I have a ton of options. But when he reached out to me, I was actually going to practice. Then it's like, hey, Mikey, this is Brian Mazonoff from Ohio State. I don't know who that is, to be honest. But I play against Ohio State. And I was like, oh, coach, I can't talk right now. Then it's like, okay, when you can talk, just give me a show. I was like, okay. 30 minutes later, I was still in practice. Then he called me again. I was like, who is this? Because every other coaches, when I was in the portal, everybody sent me like email. He sent me an email because I didn't respond. I think he got my number from my coach. And my coaches never give like a good recommendation about like me leaving because he's not happy about that. Then Brian's like, when he showed me a text and we talked on the phone, then he told me like my coach make a good recommendation because he's alumni in Ohio State. I was like, oh, now I get it. Then he gave me like, okay, if you want to come here, hey man, just get a visit. Then I go there. When I visit, I was like, oh, he's a really good guy. So working with him is going to be fun.
Were they all as simple as that, right, Brian?
Yeah, I wish.
Oh my goodness. We were talking earlier today, and you were telling me about the adjustment. You had never been in the United States. You had never been to Dayton. You'd never been to Ohio. Obviously, you were just saying you'd never been to Ohio State and all that. What was the biggest adjustment for you, both on and off the field, when you came over in this adventure, in this pathway that involved collegiate soccer?
I think the weather is the most difficult thing for me.
The weather?
Yeah. Everybody know, like, when I came straight from Nigeria, so I came in the spring in 2021.
Put the microphone up so people can hear.
I came in the spring in 2021, and then every game that I play, I can only play first 20 minutes. I'll be coughing, so because I don't like the cold. So Nigeria is like 90 degrees, so I'm used to that. Even to now, you can tell you like sometimes like a mic, but now I'm better now. I can do way better now. So then I think with that, so I was able to adjust myself over time, and also another thing is English. To be able to learn English is difficult.
Yeah. You're doing a great job, my friend.
Yeah,
You're doing a wonderful job. What is it about this year and what Michael did from your perspective? Were there any changes? Were there anything that you added or took away to make this the career that it had?
Yeah, so Mikey came to us. I had him for 2 years. The first season, obviously, you could see what he does. I mean, when you watch him play, he really jumps off the page. He's so dynamic, so good with the ball. But this year, I thought he did a great job of bringing others into the game. So when you look at him, he always had the ability. His 1v1 ability was always there. But he brought others into the game. He tracks a ton of tension. So he obviously found his open teammates. And then he doesn't get enough credit for what he does on the other side of the ball. So his defending is fantastic. He covers a ton of ground, both offensively and defensively. And after the season, he said, "Coach, what do I need to do?" And he's a great listener. And I thought he just turned some great corners this year, and obviously we see what he did this year.
for the foreseeable future, drafted into MLS. Is that what you're going to do?
Yeah.
Montreal?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. So first you lived the American dream, now you're going to go live the Canadian dream.
Exactly. I got to learn French now.
Wonderful. And learn, there we go. Now French. You know, it's kind of cold up in Montreal too, but you're used to that now, right?
I'm used to cold, don't worry. Yeah.
Maze, let's end it here with you about college soccer. And we talked a little bit about the holistic approach and the pride that I know you feel, and all of these coaches in different ways, but they do share many ways about not just the soccer players that we are producing, but the young men and women that are going to go on and lead, you know, in our case, what I feel is the greatest country in the world, but be leaders in other countries, and that you are preparing them for, not soccer, but you're preparing them for life and using soccer and how important that is to you.
Yeah, I mean, as we know, sports teach you so much about, not only about the game, but about life. And I know Jamie mentioned it, just in terms of these kids are going to go on. They learn so much through the game of soccer, but in these programs of being a good teammate, how to balance their time, there's so much that you learn in college and you develop and mature. And with all the good programs and coaches nowadays that lead these kids, college is such a great option, and it's so much fun to see how far the game of soccer's come in this country, and it's fun to see how the college game's grown over the years, and it's a great option for these young men and young women.
Well, oh, that's it? We got to go? Oh, okay. Well, let me just say, and this goes to everyone, having heard everybody speak here and all of the coaches, it warms the cockles of my redheaded American heart to hear what everybody is saying about the college game, because as we grow as a soccer-playing nation, you know, our zeal to create better soccer players is fine, but we cannot abdicate our responsibility to create better young men and women. And as I said before, the future is in good hands because of the incredible mentoring and the incredible coaching and the incredible support that all of you in different ways have given. So it makes me feel wonderful as an old guy here for what you have done here, for what we have seen here tonight. So keep it up and congratulations. Onward and upward, my friend.
Thank you. Thank you.
Alexi, thank you.
Wait a minute. Wait. Come here. We want to thank Alexi again. He won this award in '91. But I want to bring up a point that he has used his visibility and celebrity in the sport of soccer to further the sport of soccer, irrespective of what level it is. And you can never lose sight of the fact that he took advantage of a great situation in the '94 World Cup. Played every minute in the 1994 World Cup. They get into a round of 16 game against Brazil on July 4th. He and Marcelo Balboa at center back's one of the reasons. The other reason at midfield was Mike Sorber. And he was the first American to play in Serie A for Padova. So thank you again to Alexi Lells.
Well, let me just say, as you look back in life, you know, you see moments that you know changed your life, and whatever good I have done, and thank you so much, I can trace it right back to way back there in 1991 or whatever it was, walking into the swimming pool and seeing naked men as far as the eye could see here at the Missouri Athletic Club. So thank you for that.
Thank you. It's all the time we have. Ladies and gentlemen, our featured guest this evening, Anson Dorrance, recently concluded an absolutely remarkable, astoundingly remarkable intercollegiate soccer coaching career. Ladies and gentlemen, Anson Dorrance. The inevitable first question is, I know it's still early, but how's retirement?
I should have done this 20 years ago.
No.
I can't tell you how relaxed I am. I mean, it's just incredible. I rise at noon. I wander into the kitchen. I have a over-easy egg or two, and then I search for the nearest pickleball game. And you're right, we're going to make the orthopedic profession, they're going to all retire at 50 because of all of us that are. And I can't wait to play, Ravi, by the way. So you're on, my friend. You're on.
No interview with Anson would be complete without at least a reference or a mention to Dean Smith, your mentor at University of North Carolina. He once said that, "I'm proud I retired as a coach." You have the same feeling?
Yeah, there's no question. I mean, what he was referencing, usually if you have a successful coaching career, the next step up is to become an administrator. And of course, that's a completely different lifestyle. And to remain in the coaching profession for so long, I think, was a wonderful bravery. Because obviously you put your reputation on the line every year. And if you've had some success, you've got to live up to your previous success. And so what happened when I retired, and I wasn't exaggerating, when I retired, I was so relaxed for the first time. And obviously I was cheering for the man that had replaced me, who, by the way, every time I gave him an opportunity in the 9 years he worked for me before he stepped in to become the head coach, he did everything better than I did. At the end of my career, actually, it was great. He was doing absolutely everything. And I want to thank this incredible man, Damon Nahas, publicly for the way he took a very challenging environment. In the spring, no one would play us. We were down to like 8 healthy players, and we were calling all these different schools across the South to say, you know, do you mind playing us 8v8? And everyone refused us except for Catawba. So we take the University of North, and by the way, the only way they would play us is if we travel to them. So that's where we were in the spring. The only team that would play us was Catawba. And then, of course, they tied us. So what did Catawba do right after the game? They wanted to have a photograph with my team and their team underneath the scoreboard so they would basically immortalize this moment. And we had no issue with that. Heck, they're the only team that would, play us. And so we went up there. And so what I really loved about Kate up here explaining the progression, for all of us that are involved in athletics, one of the seminal moments for all of us that are involved in athletics are the defeats. The defeats shape us. You get to decide who you're going to be. And what I loved about the spring is watching the different commitments that our players made to trying to get back to another level. And then obviously watching Damon work, and this guy is a technical genius in my opinion. And he shaped a new team. We had one returning starter from the previous season. 11 of the kids from a very talented team in 2023 signed First Division Pro contracts. Let me say that again. 11 of our players from the 2023 roster signed First Division professional contracts. 9 entered the transfer portal. And so we basically were absolutely shredded. And the reconstruction of this team from the ashes of the losses to the graduation kids, the kids who went pro, and the kids in the transfer portal, we had to reshape everything. And then, of course, we were eliminated that year by an amazing Brigham Young University team when we were winning 3-0 at the half. We're up 3-0 at the half. We had this kid up top by the name of Ali Sentinor. He ended up the #1 player in the NWSL draft. We were winning 3-0 at the half, and BYU came storming back. And it wasn't like it was luck. They committed, they scored goals, they broke us, and they won the game. And so the spring was sort of reconstructing ourselves from those ashes. I come into the season, and we scheduled a USL pro team as our first scrimmage. So one of the things I loved about Dean Smith is I took so much from him. I even took retirement from him. What he would do is he'd come into the season, and obviously being an older coach near the end of his career, everyone was asking him, when are you going to retire? When are you going to retire? That's a very dangerous question to answer because, of course, it could shred your recruiting. So what almost everyone has to do is to not predict when they're going to sort of step back. And what he said, which I thought was great, is I'm going to come into the preseason and sort out if I have energy, and if I don't have energy, I'm stepping back. So I didn't just have this energy issue. I had this, we're winning 3-0 at the half, and BYU comes back and shreds us. Players were great, their coaching staff, they shred us in Provo. Coming into the preseason, we're playing this USL professional team, and we beat them 5-1. I'm thinking, okay, I'm out of here. So I was trying to figure out a way to retire during a certain pattern, but all of a sudden we appointed a new chancellor. I don't know if you guys work in academia, but all of a sudden, if the chancellor is now appointed and, becomes the new chancellor, any news about your retirement becomes secondary news. So I couldn't retire at the day I wanted to retire because the chancellor was stepping in and taking over. But anyway, so we stepped back, and then I watched the construction of this team with extraordinary kids. And I loved, listening to you interview Kate, but also watching Lexi interview her in the podcast that you guys do up here on the second floor. And I love watching that as well. And for all of you guys in the room, I'm sure what you got a sense of from watching Kate, she lives with extraordinary joy of life. I would like to go to practice just to look at her and see what joy of life looks like, because she thoroughly enjoys her life. And then watching the construction of that team. And by the way, the Duke team that we played against this year, and I've been coaching a long time, that's the greatest Duke team I have ever seen in my life. The Wake team that we played is the greatest Wake team I've ever seen in my life. The thing I love about when Damon was interviewed at half, once we were playing Wake, he basically conceded the fact that Wake destroyed us in the first half. We played them in 2 games. We won both of them. In the 4 halves we played, they totally outplayed us in 3 out of the 4 halves. So please understand, the competition in the ACC this year was extraordinary for us, and they shaped us. We played Duke 4 times. I've always believed in the philosophy that steel sharpens steel. We've always played a great schedule, and the teams in our conference, and by the way, in this Final Four, all 4 teams that were there were from the Atlantic Coast Conference. I'm very proud of that. I'm very proud of my conference. I'm proud of these people that coach in our conference. One of the greatest leaders I've ever coached in my life is sitting right over here. Her name is Carla Worden Overbeck. We never lost a game together in college. How about that? She played for me, 4-time national champion. And then, of course, give her a round of applause. And let me tell you something about Carla. She was a center back for me. And here's the issue, as all the defenders in the room understand, you never get any recognition. So she was never here at the MAC because she was a defender on the teams I coached. You had the attacking, goal-scoring personalities in the room. We built this incredible facility, and what I had the opportunity to do was to put 10 players on the wall. So the kids you know about are certainly up there, the Mia Hams, the Christine Lillies, the Cindy Parlos, but I wanted to make sure that this extraordinary woman and this extraordinary leader was on the wall. That's one of the greatest players I've ever coached in my life. She helped basically take the national team to a world level, and so for Carla, I want her to know publicly how much I respect who she is.
And to follow up on that, Carla, Fowdy actually told me one time, if Carla's not at center back, we don't win World Cups. We don't win World Cups. Let's get back to soccer a little bit. With reference to college soccer, in any sport, is success built on the quality of the recruit you have that comes to your school?
Well, there's no question. I mean, you wouldn't have any sort of collegiate success without effective recruiting. So the caliber of your season is going to be based on the caliber of the kids you bring in. There's absolutely no question about that. And the thing I loved about this atmosphere in here, and by the way, I've been here so many times and I've loved it. I love the way you treat us all. You make this sport feel incredibly special. I love the way you treat my athletes. I love the way you treat the game. I love having someone like you that's almost a historical landmark for our game, that you are so comfortable. You are so comfortable sharing all the elements of my game. And the other thing, I was, quizzing your wife about what she's feeding you, because your brain still looks like it works. So it's just absolutely, it's just remarkable. So we appreciate the way the MAC treats us, treats our game. And I just appreciate everything and the tribute you play to making our game and the people in our game feel special. So, Bill, thank you.
Thank you, I think. The women's game is dramatically different than the men's in that every 4 years there's a World Cup and then there's Olympics because the full women's national team plays in the Olympics. What a dramatic change, the overall sport, the use of the full women's national team. But what I'm getting at is with reference to that, 9 world championships, 5 World Cups, gold medals. This is still the place to foster your ability as a soccer player, namely our country.
There's absolutely no question. One thing I'm incredibly proud of is, yep, you're right, the Olympics is basically another kind of world championship, because in the men's game, you're allowed to bring in, I don't know, 4 overage players, but everyone else is like U23. So in the women's game, yeah, the Olympics is a legitimate world championship. And here's what I'm extraordinarily proud of. We have won 9 World Cups and Olympics. The rest of the world combined has won 8. So by the way, the women's game in the United States are basically champions of the world in their own game. We dominate the world in their own game, and I'm so damn proud of it.
You coached the men at North Carolina, the women, and the full women's national team at the same time. How the hell did you do that?
Well, honey, first of all, Melissa, thanks for not leaving me. We figured this out one year. One year, I think I had one Thursday afternoon off. Because obviously, as coaches, as all the coaches in the room understand, you work weekends. So it's not like, oh, you know, the weekend's coming. I've got Saturday and Sunday off. No. You're either recruiting Friday, Saturday, Sunday, or you're playing games on Friday and Sunday. The weekend is basically work. And of course, if you're hardworking and ambitious, you're working the rest of the week. So the thing I really appreciate, and by the way, I have 3 remarkable children. And I attribute the fact that they're remarkable because I never raised them. My wonderful wife over here, Melissa, who, by the way, taught at Duke for 33 years. So, yeah, give her a nice round of applause. And let me tell you something about her working at Duke for 33 years. What I loved is we used her entire Duke paycheck to go into UNC women's soccer recruiting. We thought that was great use of the Duke endowment. So thank you, Duke University, for helping me recruit.
And Carla, by the way, coaches at Duke.
I couldn't believe this. One of the greatest mistakes
at University of North Carolina.
Oh, exactly right.
How does that dynamic work?
Well, I'll let Carla come up here and explain it all, but let me tell you this. I'm on the Duke golf course with Bill Hempen, and he says, Anson, I've got an opening on my staff. What do you think? Is there anyone out there I should bring in? I said, greatest mistake I've ever made. I said, well, you should bring in Carla Worden-Overbeck. I mean, you know, she would be a great assistant for you. Carla, I just want you to know I regret ever making that recommendation because then we got to compete against her over at Duke. But honestly, she was a brilliant player for me. She's been a brilliant coach for Duke. And those games these are white knucklers. I mean, we played them 4 times this year. And every game was just incredibly difficult. So I have nothing but respect. I also have respect for Robbie, who plays us twice. If we want to build the women's game, you have to build it on rivalries. It's so tough for us to get a competitive schedule because no one wants to play us. And yet Duke has the guts to play us twice. You need the rivalries. We wanted to play them once at home, once at Duke, and of course they beat us in those first 2 games. I have nothing but respect for Robbie and his players that just helped us become the team that we became at the end of the year.
A little bit about your coaching philosophy. Part of the credo of that philosophy has always been make them responsible, not accountable. Go a little bit further on that.
Well, the trouble with accountability, it's a blame culture. So if you were to really, start to dive into principles of leadership, the trouble with accountability, you're sort of, blaming them if they're not doing things the right way. Responsibility is a different way to look at the same platform. So if you can train people to be responsible, and even though there is an accountability element in being responsible, it's a better sort of paradigm shift in the leadership equation. So you've got to use the right words if you want to create the positive atmosphere. So for me, responsibility is a much better direction to go in if you want to basically promote and develop elite leaders.
At the conclusion of every season at University of North Carolina, there's a soccer banquet, and the big award is not for the MVP. Everyone in the room knows that list could go on forever of a who's who. But your big award is for not just soccer development, human development. Did you instill that?
Yeah, I mean, this is something we've done forever, because, yeah, you're right, our MVPs are a who's who of the game. But the top award at our banquet is the Kelly Muldoon Award for character. And we believe in this, and Kate has suffered through this, so what I'm going to share, she's certainly aware of. When you come into the University of North Carolina, you've got to basically memorize and be able to present publicly a set of 13 core values. So all of you guys that have your phones out right now, just type into your web browser, UNC Women's Soccer Core Values. Our 13 values will pop up for you, and our kids memorize basically the quotes in it. I don't believe in having a culture of whining, so the first thing our incoming freshmen memorize is a George Bernard Shaw quote about being a force of fortune, instead of a feverish, selfish little clod of ailments and grievances complaining that the world will not devote itself to making you happy. I hate whiners. I absolutely hate whiners. They drive me absolutely batshit crazy. I hate them. So we don't tolerate it in our culture. And then there are a whole series of other quotes that they all memorize. And whenever I have a player conference with them, they have to recite their core values. And then we grade them on it. And then at the end of the semester, their teammates grade them on how effectively they lived them. So basically, the Kelly Muldoon Award is a measurable award based on the character respect that every woman on the team has for every other woman on the team in the 13 core values. And I learned this by years ago, I like to read, and I read business books all the time, and they're all telling me, if you want an amazing culture in the business world, you've got to have a certain set of principles you live by. So we had all these things that, like we don't whine, we work hard, and I'm looking at this one day, I'm thinking, this is so insipid. This doesn't inspire anyone. So what I did is I was reading the New York Times Magazine, and in this article of the New York Times Magazine was this woman that was studying Russian literature at Columbia. They had just hired a Russian exile poet by the name of Joseph Brodsky. Brodsky comes into Columbia, and he assembles all of his PhD candidates, and he tells them, okay, I need you guys to memorize reams of Russian poetry and Russian literature. And these Columbia graduate students are looking at each other thinking, this Russian is crazy. So they get together as a cabal following this meeting, and they say, this is ridiculous. I don't think he understands where he is. He's at Columbia. We are one of the world's great universities, and he's treating us like elementary school children. Let's go back in there and tell him, no, we're not going to do that. I don't think you realize where you are. So they went back in and basically said, Professor, I'm sorry, but we're not going to memorize this. I don't think you understand where you are. And he said, well, if you guys don't memorize anything, none of you guys get your PhDs, and they got to work. And in this article that she wrote for the New York Times, she talks about the transformation that was made because of what she had memorized. She said she finally knew what it felt like to live through a Russian winter because the language was so powerful that she had memorized. It changed her cerebral fabric. It changed everything about her. So we started memorizing these things because we want to shape culture. Because, yep, are we soccer coaches? Are we in the soccer development business? There's no question. But if you're coaching at a university, or in my opinion, at a high school, you are in the human development business. And you have an opportunity to do so much more than just teach a couple kids how to kick a soccer ball. So this is something that I've always taken very seriously.
I assure you, this is the first soccer banquet where we've heard articles from the New York Times Magazine quoted, as well as a George Bernard Shaw quote. You can be assured. All right, before we let you go, a couple quick hitters, quick answers.
Okay.
Can't be evasive, got to be right on. And I know you can't just give one. At least I'm not thinking so. Can you give us 5 top favorite players at UNC?
No, because that would compromise my reputation with about 50 of them.
Okay.
So I am never going to step into that trap, but thanks for the offer.
We'll leave it alone. Most memorable World Cup game?
It was actually against the Germans. It was the semifinal, and the coach for the German national team was this guy named Giro Bizanz. And he was the guy that was the director of coaching for the Bundesliga. And so this guy had an incredible reputation because he was training the men's coaches in the Bundesliga on how to play the game at the highest level. So now he's the women's national coach for Germany. And back in those days, all the teams in the world worshipped at the altar of the 4-4-2. I've never liked the way people worshipped at the altar of the 4-4-2. So as Carla knows, we played a 1-3-4-3. We reached out and grabbed the Germans by the throat and squeezed the air out of them. And we beat them to bloody death. I'm in the press conference following the victory, and all of a sudden, and of course they're doing this through translators, and he's complaining about the way we played. And what is he complaining about? He's complaining about the fact in the traditional 4-4-2 against an opponent that's also playing a 4-4-2, your goalkeeper and your four backs get to work the ball out against two front runners. What could be simpler, right? And then you play the ball in the midfield and you send one of your backs into midfield to create numbers up around the ball. We didn't believe in that. We believed in wherever the ball was, we're going after you. And basically, we destroyed them. And he was basically saying that we cheated because we basically played defense in their defensive third. So anyway, I'm listening to this, and I am just in shock, because I thought beating the Germans in the semifinal 5-2, I thought that was pretty good. Well, we got basically no love from Giro. So anyway, following that, his top assistant, Tina Thunemeyer, who ended up their national coach, came up to me after the press conference and said, Coach, please know that you guys played a remarkable game, so congratulations. So Tina at least respected what we did.
Most difficult opponent, country and school?
Well, country were those Norwegians, right, Carla? Yeah, we hated the Norwegians. In fact, our phrase for them, and it was like one word, we called them, the Norwegian bitches. So that was like, there wasn't even a hyphen between.
Drive safely.
So anyway, we hated them, they hated us, and there's nothing better for a rivalry than absolute pure hatred. And then after and I would love for Carla to come up here and describe this, because she can certainly do it better than I do. When they knocked us out of the second World Cup, did they celebrate with the train, Carla? Yeah, I think they did. So they beat us, and they got this train, and the way the train works is you're kneeling, and the person behind you has your ankles, and you have the person in front of you ankles, and they go around the field like a centipede. And so our preparation for the Olympics was it with a picture of the centipede above? Okay. Yeah, I mean, Carla could give you more detail on this. And so in those Olympics, when we took them out, that was a nice day for the United States, don't you think, Carla? That was a nice day. So yeah, we absolutely hated them.
How about school?
I struggle recruiting against Stanford. I've gone, and I keep score, I've gone head-to-head with Stanford 46 times, and I've won 6 recruiting battles out of 46. And here's the dilemma. The dilemma is the sort of kids that end up going to Stanford are your kids. It's an upper-middle-class demographic. And wouldn't it be cool if your daughter got a full scholarship to Stanford? Wouldn't you send her there? Even if the University of North Carolina recruited her, yeah, you would send her to Stanford. So we just can't out-recruit them. But fortunately for us, we don't have as much problems beating them. But out-recruiting them is an absolute nightmare. So for me, the team that I want to beat in the worst way, because here's the other thing I do, when we do beat them, the good game, good game, good game, good game line, you know how when the two teams line up, I can't wait to go through that line because, oh yeah, I recruited you, you blew me off, I'm glad you're suffering. Oh yeah, you too. Oh gosh, I'm glad tears are, streaming down your cheeks. And I just love going through that line because their whole damn team we offered a full scholarship to, and they blew us off. So, and there's a great German word for this, by the way. It's called Schadenfreude. Schaden is the German word for damage, and Freude is the German word for joy. Schadenfreude is the incredible joy I feel when you're suffering.
Boy, you can tell he's retired. Gee, vindictive as hell. All right, international soccer. Messi or Maradona?
Messi.
Marta or Ham?
Ham.
If you weren't a soccer coach, you'd be?
Tragically for me, I'd be a corporate attorney.
I thought you were at the law school.
I was.
But you dropped out.
I
Too
did.
many rules?
I was saved. Well, no. I mean, my dad was an oil businessman, and what was happening when I was in college, he was building his own oil company. And he basically said, Anson, I need you to go to law school. And I said, Dad, why is that? He says, well, I'm starting an oil company, and you're going to be my corporate attorney. And I just think if you're my corporate attorney, you're not going to have a tendency to steal from your own estate. I said, that's reasonable, okay. Well, I loved my father. I was a dutiful son, so I went to law school for him. I hated it. I absolutely hated it. While I was in law school, I was coaching the men. Usually you finish law school in 3 years. I was taking a course shy each semester to coach the men. Then in the second semester of my third year of law school, Title IX was basically a big topic, and my AD calls me up and said, Anson, the women's club on campus has petitioned for varsity status. Do you mind coming out and vetting them for me? I said, Mr. Kobe, my AD, no problem. So I went out there. I'm watching this women's club play. And he said, what do you think? I said, I think they're excellent. We'll share facilities with them. We'll share the stadium with them. Yep, let's make them a varsity. And then, Anson, if you will coach both teams, I will change your part-time men's position to full-time. So all of a sudden, I'm in law school with 6 courses to go, finishing my law degree. I'm getting 4 to 6 hours sleep at night. And remember, in retirement now, I'm rising at noon. I love sleep. So I just can't function. And I came home one day, and my poor, long-suffering wife, I said, honey, I am so sorry. We're not going to retire on a yacht in the Mediterranean. I've decided to become a soccer coach. And then my wife threw her arms around me and said, honey, you love this. Yep, we're never going to be rich, but you're going to be happy, and we have lived happily ever after.
Ladies and gentlemen, he shaped the sport for generations and for generations to come. A nice concluding round of applause to our evening for our special guest, Anson Dorrance. By the way, Carla, thank you for being part of the conversation as well. Greg Beekman to conclude.
Just a couple things to wrap up. As a corporate attorney, I really enjoyed Anson's comments. That was really fantastic.
You didn't hate law school.
I did not. I did not. And I know nothing about soccer, so it's all good. Would like to have, this is a very important announcement for us at the MAC. Next week at the United Soccer Coaches Convention in Chicago, our longtime MC, Bill McDermott, will receive the Clay Burley Media Career of Excellence Award in recognition of his contributions and commitment to soccer throughout a career that last spanned more than 5 decades. MAC President Jody Peterson has a special announcement.
You know, I've had the pleasure of calling Mr. Soccer my friend Bill for over 2 decades now. And so that makes this opportunity tonight just extra special, and so I'm very grateful for that. You know, Bill, when you think back on your career and you think about the impact, the contributions, the commitment, you know, certainly to soccer, but also to our beloved St. Louis University, and certainly to the greater St. Louis city and region, we thank you. We're very appreciative. I also want to say thank you so much for your longtime support of the Missouri Athletic Club. Certainly as the longtime MC of this fabulous event, but also so many others that through the year and through the years you have supported us on. And so it is with all of that that it is my distinct honor on behalf of the Board of Governors as well as our great team here at the MAC to celebrate you with an honorary lifetime membership to the MAC.
Thank you, Jody. Now, does this mean I can bring the family here? It does? On any kind of a regular basis? Thank you very, very much, Jody. Jody, likewise, is actively involved in the MAC here, obviously, being the second only female president, but in particular at St. Louis University, where she was a wonderful basketball player and continues to give back to everyone. Monsignor Meyer told us, the soccer priest, once you get finished, once the sport has given you something, please give something back. That's all I've been trying to do. That's all I've been trying to do. So thank you very much.
And with that, there's a photo booth outside. Please take advantage of that. Get your picture taken with the trophy. And the bar is open downstairs. Thank you all for being here.
Thanks, Greg.